Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. This one is for Monday the 14th of March going through until Sunday the 20th of March 2022. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm going to go through each day this week to see what energy the planets create amongst themselves and how you can use that to your advantage. Starting with Monday the 14th of March, we've got the moon in Leo, and that bodes really well. The moon in Leo is uncomplicated, it's fun-loving, it's in the present moment. The moon is what comes naturally and easily to you, where you don't really have to think very much, it's what you naturally feel. And Leo is associated with the height of summer. Astrology is based on the seasons in the northern hemisphere, and Leo falls into August. That's when it's warmest and the flowers are blooming, and kids are playing outside in the fountains, and it's a good time to just enjoy your life, to enjoy other people, all the beautiful things in the world. So that gives you a very nice, positive kind of confidence in yourself, a willingness to kind of shine and to be in the spotlight, to entertain, to lead other people. And that opposes Mars and Venus in Aquarius, which is interesting because an opposition means that the two are 180 degrees away from each other, or these three are 180 degrees away from each other. Mars is ambition and drive, and in Aquarius, it generates a lot of new ideas and inspiration. Venus is about love, new beginnings, beauty, creativity, relationships. And again, in Aquarius, it has a lot of ideas for what could be in future, what wonderful things you could bring into your life if you haven't got them already. And when you take Mars and Venus and you put them together, the way they're sitting together in the chart here on Monday, something new occurs. So both of them are personal planets, and they're very much about new beginnings and looking at what can be done. But when they combine forces, the male and the female principles, something takes on a life of its own. And then you combine that with the Leo moon, not only do you have these great ideas for your future, but you have the confidence to implement them. And also it all seems very simple and straightforward. So Monday isn't going to be a day where you're riddled with self-doubt. You're much more likely to say, I want to go out in the world and to experience all the good things and to be in the present moment. However, the Leo moon also squares Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is the planet of the miraculous and the unexpected. And in Taurus, it makes your practical circumstances difficult to take for granted, or things aren't routine, things are changing all the time. So if something comes into your life that's unexpected and maybe even unwelcome, it's going to seem like a nuisance, a distraction from, hey, I'm having a good time here, why do I need to deal with this? What I feel very strongly here on Monday is that you're able to problem solve very, very well. So rather than saying, do you know what, I'm going to postpone this, I'll deal with it tomorrow or the day after, deal with problems as they arise on Monday. You'll be able to solve them very quickly, and that then frees you up to have a good time for the rest of the day. The Leo moon also trines Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer, and in Aries it says, do you know what? You're sitting here with all these people and you're discussing and negotiating, but what about your needs? Please don't take your own feelings and your own perspective and dismiss them. It's important that you insert yourself in this situation and that you realize you're an equal partner here, and that your experience and your views on things are just as important as anyone else's. And then finally, it quincunxes Mercury and Jupiter in Pisces. So Mercury, the communication planet, in the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces, has great spiritual awareness. And because Mercury is all about exchanging ideas, you may be massively inspired by your intuition or your connection with the higher realms. Jupiter, the lucky planet, expands everything and makes it bigger. And with that also sitting in Pisces, it's very easy to tap into your own intuitive truth. So I think on Monday, ask yourself, does this sit right with me? Does this feel good? Is it simple, straightforward? Does it make sense to me? If the answer is yes, then go for it. Your intuition on Monday, it really isn't going to lead you down the wrong road. So overall on Monday, there's great confidence in yourself and this amazing desire to learn and to explore and to teach. It's a great day if you are going for an interview, or if you are negotiating something with other people, if you're in some sort of mediation process or a legal process. With Chiron helping you, you're not going to say, okay, I'll just be quiet and make this simple and wait for it all to be over. No, I'm in this situation. I need to stand up for myself. And you're also going to be able to present your ideas. You know, the funny thing is that I'm sensing here as I'm saying this is usually when you stand up for yourself, there's the potential for conflict. But on Monday, there's something about you that's so likable, or other people understand where you're coming from, that really standing up for yourself and speaking your truth isn't going to cause a lot of conflict. So it's likely that you get your way as such because there isn't a lot of argument here. Problem solving is also supported on Monday the 14th, especially circumstances which have been problematic and chaotic and outside of your control. So if there's anything that's been a thorn in your side for a while, analyze that, work with that. You're very likely to find a solution to that issue and you'll be able to resolve it. So again, it kind of confirms that do the work. It's not going to take you as long as you think it will. And then you can be in the present moment and enjoy it without having a sense of, oh, something is hanging over me or something is yet to come. On Tuesday, the 15th of March, we've got the moon still in Leo, so that energy continues here. But on Tuesday, it opposes Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, that's very different because Saturn is an outer planet. It's about structures and the rules. In Aquarius, it kind of represents the majority of what the majority of people think. It's society's traditions and values and beliefs, and this is, as a group, what we think is good and right. And if you don't agree with that, then you're not in this club. So there's a us versus them mentality here on Tuesday. And you know, the Leo moon that seems so carefree and fun-loving on Monday seems really small, and poor little Leo moon here on Tuesday opposing Saturn in Aquarius, because Saturn is like this giant truck and the Leo moon is almost like your inner child, playing in the sunshine. And it really has they're not on the same page. These two don't see life the same way. So on one hand, I think that you're going to feel like, wow, I'm the outsider here. But on the other hand, I think you're so invested in the Leo moon and your feelings and what you've experienced in your life that I also think you're prone to say, well, I believe this, all of them don't share my belief, so we're not going to get along, I don't feel. So with that kind of thing, I always think it's important to find a middle ground, because of course the greater wisdom of other people can teach you, but it's about having a boundary and saying, okay, I'll let you teach me, but I'm not going to let you oppress me. And you can teach other people and change the institution, but then you can also take it to the extreme and say, I'm going to dictate that my view is right and you're all wrong. That's an interesting thing, because I don't think society kind of teaches us to think for ourselves. You know that saying, like, if you meet a lot of unpleasant people during one day, then it's likely that you're the unpleasant person. I don't necessarily agree with that. Of course, it can be true. But on the other hand, if you're in a room full of people and you have one opinion and 9 other people disagree with you, it might just be that those are the wrong 9 people. You know what I mean? So I think thinking in absolutes is the thing to watch out for here on Tuesday. The Leo moon also quincunxes Jupiter, the Sun, and Neptune in Pisces. Wow. So Jupiter, the lucky planet in Pisces, it means that your intuition is going to be so strong that you are at zero risk of dismissing your own needs. And with the Leo moon, it's like, this is what I feel, so it's true for me. Okay, thank you. The Sun is your identity. In Pisces, again, it's very spiritually connected. Neptune in Pisces, Neptune is the water planet of dreams and intuition. It rules Pisces. So your spiritual awareness is heightened massively. And if you're trying to have some sort of spiritual breakthrough or understand something on an intuitive level, or I don't know how I feel, let me meditate on this to see where I'm really at. All of those things are supported massively. So please look at that. And also it's going to give you a sense of confidence by knowing what you think and feel to be true. And then it quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. That's interesting because Pluto is transformation and change. Pluto allows you to have 2 very different experiences. For instance, the best time in life and the worst time in life. Pluto is night and day. It's the firebird, the phoenix, and then at other times it's a pile of ash. So nothing is absolute with Pluto, so that kind of helps you. And it's also in Capricorn, so it means that working through your issues, if you have any, it allows you to flip the situation completely and to have a very different experience as a result of your work and efforts. So again, the problem-solving stuff is highlighted by this energy. And if there is something that's unresolved in your life, problem solve or work with this on Monday, Tuesday, because you'll be able to get to a place of kind of closure, completion, and then the outcome is going to be very influential on your life moving forward. You'll have a very different experience. But then again, pick and choose. If something is the most fabulous thing in your life and you don't understand it, then if you really analyze it on Tuesday and make sense of it, you can even flip that. So you have a lot of control here. And ultimately, Jupiter and the Sun and Neptune give you the ability to go your own way. And that is the thing I feel you ought to stick to. So the Leo, Moon and Saturn opposition, that may give you a sense of reluctance when it comes to other people or integrating what they're telling you or following instructions particularly. And what's interesting as well is I think you may have a sense of remorse for any public appearances you made the day before on Monday. That's kind of interesting. What that reminded me of, like if you're going to an event or like a dinner or something and you're having a good time and you're talking and you're having fun, and then afterwards you go away from it and you start to review what was said and you start cringing about certain things like, oh, I thought that was funny at the time, but maybe I shouldn't have said that. That's the kind of thing I'd like you to avoid. What I'd like you to celebrate is the fact that you have the confidence and the presence of mind to go to an event and to speak and to have a good time and to crack a joke. That's when you're in the present moment. Afterwards, when you're then criticizing yourself and reviewing everything, you're no longer in the present moment and you're applying all of these rules to something that was a moment in itself. So if you have a tendency to do that on Tuesday, please, as soon as you find yourself doing that, turn it around, use Pluto and work on that and say, do you know what, instead of criticizing myself now for something that happened 6 hours ago, I'm going to celebrate the fact that I even went to the dinner and applaud myself for having the confidence to speak to strangers. The fact of the matter on Tuesday is that ultimately you're in a good place and you're clear on what you think and feel, and you're speaking your truth. So you can practice not apologizing for your truth, which isn't the most comfortable thing, but we all need to do that so that we actually give ourselves the freedom to speak and to express our personalities. So if you happen to fly in the face of convention, the reminder is it doesn't automatically mean you're wrong just because you're the lone single voice, which again can be tough, but I feel the Leo moon gives you such a sense of confidence that you'll own that and you won't find it as difficult as usual. On Wednesday, the 16th of March, we've got the moon going into Virgo at 6:59 in the morning. The moon in Virgo is very different. So we're moving from autumn to September here. We're moving from summer to the beginning of autumn. And Virgo is about getting organized and getting serious and practical and grounded and making preparations for winter. It's saying, okay, the weather is cooling off a bit. We realize that the flowers aren't always going to be out and we have to stock food for winter. So we need to sort the good food from the stuff that's going to spoil. And it's about analysis and working with the details and doing the legwork. Virgo is often associated with the nurse. It's kind of taking care of yourself in a practical sense and using your intellect and your skills to take care of other people in a practical sense. So it's less fun, but it's more grounded and practical. You'll get even more done on Wednesday. So I think a key theme here this whole week is problem solving, because Virgo loves information and to try and make sense of it. The Virgo moon also opposes Mercury in Pisces. So spirituality and the realms of imagination aren't as interesting to you now. You're much more focused on working in a tangible, practical sense. It also trines Uranus in Taurus, and that's nice because distractions and problems aren't going to feel like they're imposing themselves on you. It's like, I know how to solve this. I'm actually enthusiastic that I get almost the opportunity to use my skills here to work through things and to make things better. So again, the problem-solving things get stronger and stronger here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The moon also then quincunxes Mars and Venus in Aquarius. So the ability to be inspired and to think outside of the box and to come up with something original and unique, that's supported. And it also quincunxes Chiron in Aries. So use your experience and your ability to think critically to work your way through situations. You don't need a lot of help here. You're very capable. And that's always a nice opportunity to prove to yourself with physical evidence, which Virgo is going to really pay attention to, that, hey, actually, I can do things by myself. I don't always need to ask permission. And because I can do things by myself, I don't need all of these groups of people to support me and to give me a sense of belonging. It's okay that sometimes I'm on the outside looking in because I feel so capable. So there's real freedom in that. So if you struggle with kind of dismissing your own ideas because you want to fit in, or you're people pleasing, or you're codependent, you have an amazing opportunity to break out of that simply by doing the legwork and enjoying yourself. Wow, that's almost too simple, but that's what it's saying. Okay, Thursday, the 17th of March. No. First of all, overall on Wednesday, analysis, understanding, and learning are supported even more by the Virgo moon. Also, healing and finding practical solutions to problems becomes very, very easy. Don't be distracted by the strong opinions of other people, and especially people who won't take no for an answer. You know, if someone keeps pushing, you've already said no 5 times, it gets really wearing and tedious. Stick to what you feel, repeat patiently and affirm what it is you feel, and don't let yourself be pushed or bullied into anything, because sticking with your own truth is going to really work in your favor, and diverting from that is going to cause issues. So if someone is like in your ear all the time and they just won't give up, it can be easy to lose your temper, but I don't feel any conflict here. I think you're going to be patient. I think you have an appreciation and acceptance of yourself, and that naturally lends itself to acceptance of other people. So I think this is going to be a really quiet week in the sense of I'm getting along with people that I even usually don't get along with, and it's okay to disagree. I respect people and it's all good. So there's a real nice simplicity to this. On Thursday the 17th, we've got Mercury in Pisces, sextiling Uranus and Taurus. Wow, okay. So anything that, again, seems out of control or difficult, this is from the recovery people. What do they say? You intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle you before. The Virgo moon gives you that ability to make sense of tons of information, and it also means that you're not going to be overwhelmed if you're hearing it from lots of different sides. You can handle everything one step after the other, slowly, patiently, and there's no room for hysteria or panic here or becoming overwhelmed. The Virgo moon opposes Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, so still you feel more interested and focused on what can I get done in a real world sense, rather than what are my dreams and what could be, because Jupiter and Neptune exist so strongly within you that you don't really need to go on a shamanic journey to figure it all out. The answer sits right here, and all you need to do is say, does it feel good or not? Does it feel right? Okay, it does. Let's do it and see what happens. It's very simple and straightforward. The Virgo moon also quincunxes Saturn in Aquarius. So now the us versus, or me versus you mentality isn't as strong, because with the Virgo moon, you're more interested in understanding someone else's point of view, which in my experience can be dangerous. The initial gut feeling is usually the best. I met someone the other day who was like early 20s and fundamentalist Christian. And my immediate response was, I've looked at the Bible, I've worked through all of this, I know where I'm at, and I really don't want to get into it. I don't feel like there's anything there for me that I really need to contemplate right now. But I dismissed that and I got into a conversation because this other person wanted to discuss it. And the more I heard, the more I listened to, I was like, wow, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. You know, it was that kind of, and it irritated me. It was just like, really, this is still a theme? This is really what people think? I found it kind of depressing. So in that situation, I guess, if I'd listened to my gut and I'd said, you know, I know where I'm at with this. You have your beliefs. Fine, those are your beliefs. Let's just keep that separate. I listened to all of that, which felt like, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I think anyway, if you get that sense on Thursday, like I immediately know where I'm at with this situation, but for the sake of being nice or for giving the other person the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to put myself through this tedious 20 minutes. Stick with your gut and save yourself the 20 minutes. Yes. So on Thursday, because this sense of intuition, it's not out there somewhere, it sits right inside of you, you may feel this unusual sense that some otherworldly presence is taking an interest in you and it's working with you. It's helping you deal with any chaos in your life or anything that's confusing. So you really don't feel like you're on your own here on Thursday. It's like, wow, I'm getting information from lots of different sides and it's all coming together perfectly. What am I going to do about it? So that could be coupled, though, at the same time with a sense of being on the outside looking in when it comes to other people. In fact, feeling like your beliefs aren't shared by most of the other people on this planet is actually a good sign. It indicates that you've uncovered some sort of hidden truth for yourself, that you're being honest with yourself, and then the trick is then to stick with that view and opinion and not let yourself be talked out of it, even if it is an unpopular idea or opinion. So this whole week so far, you can prove to yourself that you create meaning on your own, in your own unique way, and you don't need to be indoctrinated. Friday, the 18th of March, we've got a full moon in Virgo at 18 minutes past 9 in the morning. And that's based on Europe time. So I'll make a separate video on the full moon in Virgo just to go into more detail. But when there's a full moon, the moon reaches its completion point. It's fully illuminated. It lets go of its energy. So you feel a lot more Virgo energy coming your way because it's letting go. So we get the Virgo energy. And again, Virgo makes you practical, analytical, able to take care of business. The Virgo moon then opposes the sun in Pisces and it trines Pluto in Capricorn. Wow. So this continues the sense that something bigger and loving is working with me and giving me a cheat sheet here. It's giving me all the answers that I need, even though I haven't learned them on an intellectual sense by reading a book or reading the contract. I somehow know the answer. And then with the trine and Pluto in Capricorn, if I implement this knowledge, if I work on it confidently, I can flip my circumstances in a life-changing way. So this whole build, to me now, it seems, this whole week is a build-up of the universe saying, have fun, be in the present moment. You can prove to yourself that you are confident and capable in your own right. And you need that knowledge to then seize this opportunity of Friday, the 18th of March, where you get massive amounts of information from within here, and the universe wants you to do something with it. And you can't do anything if you're riddled with self-doubt and fear, which you're not going to be. So please look at what major changes you can make on Friday, the 18th of March during this full moon. It's going to have a life-changing effect. The moon then enters Libra at 1:26 in the afternoon. So the moon in Libra is more focused on making decisions and using your intellect and saying, okay, regardless of my intuition, what does the real world say? So it makes you more critical, but in a way that excludes other resources. At the same time, it heightens your resource to see what has worked for you and what hasn't worked for you in the real world in the past. The Libra moon then trines Mars in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius, sextiles Chiron and Aries. So the ideas are still coming through fast. You're inspired. You're seeing the solutions to problems as they arise. Particularly personal problems on Friday can be resolved. The Sun in Pisces sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. Yeah, so it's this otherworldly sense that makes your physical circumstances seem more like they're temporary rather than permanent. Rules are no longer rules, they're guidelines. So your ability to navigate your circumstances on Friday by working with your own intuition and your gut feelings, that continues to work for you today, but it reaches its maximum point of strength. And as earlier in the week, if you had a problem that you needed to solve, Monday is a great day for it, but Friday here, look at the biggest difficulties in your life and have hope that they can be solved, because using this full moon in Virgo energy, you really can solve these things. The only warning here I get is that the potential problem of the day is that you take this to such a strong extreme, you take it to another level, that you lose a sense of compassion or empathy for other people and what they're going through. There may also be this overweening sense of I'm right. So almost going into being self-righteous, getting on some sort of a high horse. In my experience, whenever someone thinks in absolute terms and they are always right, and how dare you even question that rightness, that kind of, to me, is a red flag that the ego or the lower self is involved here. Because whenever you go down into absolute thinking and you forget about the nuances of things, for me, that means that the ego has got involved and it's sabotaging someone. So again, try and find a middle ground here. Black and white thinking and complete certainty isn't going to work in your favor. The point of it is to give you confidence to make changes happen for yourself. But if you're going up on a stage instead, pointing your finger and saying, you're wrong, I'm right, then you're wasting your time. And that then could create some conflict, even though I don't see a lot of conflict. It's interesting. What does that say if things that usually could cause potential arguments and upset feelings just don't? Maybe it's because other people are also so certain of themselves that they're barely listening. Oh yeah, I know what I feel. Thanks for sharing. So if that's the case, don't waste your breath. If no one's listening, then why try and educate someone? Saturday, the 19th of March, we've got the Libra moon now opposing Chiron in Aries. It's interesting, but with this Libra moon, what I keep feeling is that there's a certain coldness associated with it. Like a sense that, I just don't have the time or patience for you. And that's not nice. It can be unpleasant, especially if someone needs your help and you're like, not interested. So if you have a tendency to do that, I think if there is going to be a cringe factor in the week, it's that you may regret later on, that you didn't make time or effort to help someone else when they needed you. So the Libra moon trines Mars, Venus, and Saturn in Aquarius. Oh, that's interesting, because now you actually align yourself with what other people think, and you're like, I can learn something from the greater wisdom of other people here. Maybe I shouldn't be so certain. So I feel that you're going to try and hide out in the cushion and the security of a group of people who all share the way you think, and that you no longer care if it's right or wrong. You just want to belong. So you make a U-turn here, and it's like, you've done all this good stuff. You may feel like, oh, that was too exposing. I revealed too much of myself. Let me go and hide in my cave with my fellow like-minded people. I don't find that productive, because that's only going to provide evidence that if you speak up, it's going to make you afraid or you'll regret it. Stand in what you've said and done. It's 99.9% positive here for the beginning of the week. So you really have nothing to hide from. The Libra moon quincunxes Neptune, Jupiter, and Mercury in Pisces, and also Uranus and Taurus. So your intuition allows you to work with problematic circumstances. Venus in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. things that are problematic or unresolved actually inspire you to find a solution, and those solutions may apply to other things in your life. So again, face the problem, and I think that's the key word for this whole week. Face any issues or difficulties, you'll be able to resolve them. So on Saturday, you value teaching and learning, and you may want to put certain people on pedestals while dismissing other people as lacking in knowledge, or dismissing them for trivial things you dislike. Again, balance is important because you do have the opportunity to have a great time with other people, to learn from them, to socialize, to go on dates, to take day trips, to meet new people. And you can only do that if you're not kind of dismissing people or challenging them all the time. It's a good day for single people who aren't overly opinionated and can accept the views of others and even find them interesting. So look in the value of what's being said and don't take it personally. It's very unlikely to be about you. Finally, on Sunday, the 20th of March, we've got the Libra moon squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So your ability to assess the situation, to get all of the information, is going to help you problem solve. Wow, okay. The sun enters Aries at 5:53 in the afternoon. So now there's a shift from the spiritual into action. What can I do in a practical way? How can I get something exciting and thrilling going here? And the moon also changes sign. It goes into Scorpio at 5:54 in the evening, in the afternoon. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had Mars and Venus change signs into Aquarius, and that was really a major upheaval. We've got both of the luminaries, the sun and the moon, changing signs on Sunday. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's about control and let's get things done solo. And Scorpio is about uncovering hidden secrets and facing problematic feelings. So this seems very intense to me, and it's like I want to dive into the pool of myself to clear any leftover debris so that I can become this free and clear person. Again, I think it's almost too much of a good thing. Perfection is difficult to attain. The Scorpio moon quincunxes the sun in Aries, and then Mercury in Pisces conjunct Jupiter in Pisces. So actually, you'll be able to apply this critical thinking and analysis to detail to look at yourself and to let go of something that you no longer want to engage with, or to let go of an issue which, again, has been a thorn in your side for a long time. Overall, the critical thinking skills are on fire, and you can problem solve most things through study. And then later on in the day, the focus shifts from the intellectual to the physical, and you may want to experience something exciting, thrilling, or even dangerous. Pursue this, and you can let off some steam and de-stress. So do you look at yourself or do you act? I feel that doing something you enjoy, that's going to feel much more healing than passively or not moving and kind of digging around in yourself for answers. I think by keeping the momentum going, the momentum of Aries, a fire sign, and focusing on what feels good in the present moment, it indirectly heals you much more than looking at it directly and saying, what can I resolve? And it feels better too. So that's what I get for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology. If you have any questions about your life purpose or things that you want to let go of, problems that you need to look at and you want to solve them, moving, finances, relationships, anything at all, if you want to look at that, your chart is amazing in showing me strengths and weaknesses, things that are kind of destined, where you have a lot of control. Also, what's coming up in future, locations that will work for you and that won't work for you. If you have any questions on that at all, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share it online. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you for the daily tarot readings. I'll make the full moon video, the full moon in Virgo video over the next few days, so watch out for that. And I'll speak to you soon.